Okay, this is my first attempt at trying this gear shifter for real. Now I can't drive the car, so we won't be able to check the pit speed indicator. What I'm probably going to do is, after I've done this test, I'll stick the car up on axle stands and I will run the car just to see if I get speed detection correctly. Okay, let's have a go with this anyway. This is honestly my first attempt, so let's hope this all works. Actually, that was interesting that it defaulted to third gear. I think that's a software bug, and this, why it's flashing, that again looks to me like a software bug, but we'll sort that out later. Yeah, it could be to do with just the state. So at first I just put power in the car, now I've pushed the key in and that stabilised the display. Now let's start the engine. Okay, well, it's not working. So that gives us an immediate answer to that. So let me find out why it's not working. Okay, well, I've rewritten a large part of the code that processes the CAN messages. I've also, as you can see, sorted out the default gear setting. That was a very simple change. So let's have another go. So that's a good sign. You see it says 16383. For some reason, this car, when you switch it, just apply power, it actually gives a negative RPM figure on the CAN bus. But if you watch, as soon as I push the key in, oh no, maybe not just the key, I'll have to press the start button, I think. There you go. So as soon as you sort of switch the car on, it starts generating 0 RPM. The 16,000 number versus minus whatever the number is that I see on the actual CAN bus is just because of the way I've written the code, and I've not written it to accommodate negative RPM figures. I can change the code to get rid of that issue, but actually it's quite useful because it allows me to, let's just switch it off and see if it goes back to, oh no, it won't do. Oh yes, there you go. It's quite useful because it shows me that the code is working. What I don't like about this screen is the way that it's like rolling when it flickers, so that will be the effect when I'm beyond the rev limit, because obviously you know, my red line, because my red line is 7,000 and obviously 16,000 is way beyond that. If only my little BMW would do 16,000 RPM, that would be impressive. But okay, so let's start the car and see what happens. God, I hope this works because I don't want to rewrite this again. Okay, well, that's looking promising. Yeah, okay. The car's spluttering a bit because it's cold, but that RPM figure is working. That's great news. Oh, I'm really pleased about that. So that's a good start. I don't really want to rev it to get it into the red line because I'll annoy all my neighbours, but I think we're pretty confident that that works. So the next thing to do is to get the car up on axle stands and see if the speed thing works. Oh, this is in lieu of a switch. I haven't quite wired a switch in. If I do that, you can see that shows the pit speed. So what we'll try to do is get it up on axle stands so that I can spin the wheels a bit. I'm not going to go too mad because I don't like doing it. I mean, I've done it a few times, but it's not something I truly enjoy doing. But we'll give it a go and then we'll be able to see if the speed is being recorded correctly. I'm also interested to see, because I'm calculating the gear figure. So what I do is I use a combination of the RPM and the speed. I divide one by the other to give me a factor, and that has to fall within a range for it to be in a certain gear. So I've got several ranges that it checks against to check which gear the car is in. Okay, let's have a go. So now I've got the car up on axle stands. The same effect with the RPM. Okay, so that's working okay. Alright, here we go. Okay, well that's first gear. Into second. Okay, so the speed thing looks okay. I'm just looking at my speedo to look at the comparison of the speed. I reckon that's about right because my speedo's showing just under 20 kph, so I reckon that's pretty close. So let's go back to the gear setting. So it has correctly calculated I'm in second gear, so if I change down, that's first gear. Let's try third. Oh, it's fifth. Third. Yeah, a bit flaky, particularly at low RPM, but quite honestly, considering the way we're testing this, I'm not surprised. I think I need to refine that at the track. Wow, I'm really pleased about that. So the only thing that's left to do is I have to wire in a switch onto these two wires so that I can switch into pit speed mode, because obviously when I'm racing, for one thing, I won't be able to reach this display, and the other thing, I'll have gloves on anyway, and I doubt it's going to. I'm not going to be able to change the display using the buttons on the display. I've got to package it all up. So as a temporary measure, because today is Monday, and next Monday I'm going to Snetterton. I've got quite a lot of things I want to cover when I'm at Snetterton. This is just one of the things. So what I need to do is get this sort of packaged up and into the car. Now it's probably going to end up with just the cables taped across the dashboard, and I might even put this in a cardboard box, because ultimately it's not this computer and this display I'm going to use. I want a faster, better computer, because this is a really old Pi 2, and I want a better display, particularly because this display uses the what are called the GPIO connections on the side, and I want one that comes straight out of the display adapter, because I want to fit a CAN adapter to those GPIO ports, rather than having this external CAN adapter that's connected to the USB. Because I'm trying to reduce the component count, get it into a nice compact thing. And then once I've sorted that out, then I'll package it up properly, and I'll probably try and print an appropriate box for it. So I've used my favourite piece of waste, a yoghurt pot. You can see it's a bit clunky, but it'll do for the moment. This here will be replaced. I'm going to order a long lead that will go into my USB adapter that's in the car, and then this lot I'll just tidy up by just taping it down and trying to keep it out of sight a bit, but quite honestly it doesn't matter for the moment. I've fitted the pit switch there, so now if I flick the switch, you can see it changes to the pit speed, and then I flick it back and I get back to the gear shift display. Okay, hope you found that useful or interesting, and I'll catch you on the next one.